This is a demonstration of varnish fix transfers and the application of 1-2 LMS third break. The first thing is to be certain that we know exactly where this transfer is going to be fixed by measurement onto the coach. Instructions for applying the transfer to the coach can be found on the LMS Society's website. The first task is to mark out on the side of the coach exactly where the transfer is going to be fixed, and we see Stathis marking out exactly, being very precise. The fitting of this transfer is a one-hit job. One mistake and the job is ruined. Instead of marking directly onto the paint surface because it was too soft, you normally use chalk. In this case, we just marked on top of the low-tack tape. All marked out, and now final check to be certain that we've got it in exactly the right place, and then before we proceed to prepare the transfer. This is our test panel, which we tried all aspects of the painting and applying the transfer to the coach before we actually applied it to the coach, to make sure we knew exactly what we were going to do. Alright, from our testing we found that a mix of varnish and white spirit of 4:1 to be applied to the decal. Well mixed, stir. Certain there's no dust particles left on the surface. Wipe off, use a tack cloth, and then apply evenly and as thin as possible, making sure we get right to the edge of the transfer. Having applied the varnish, we now wait 25 minutes till we get a touch dry surface. And having got that, we then pick up Stathis is here, just about to attach transfer to the side of the coach. Transfer in the right place, the right spot. We now use a squeegee to squeeze as many of the air bubbles out from underneath the paper and the transfer as possible, being certain to cover the whole distance. We're trying to work from around and from the centre to the outside. Having finished with the squeegee, got as many air bubbles out as possible, the next thing is to use warm water and a sponge to wet the backing paper thoroughly on the back of the transfer. Make sure we cover the whole area. The water wet obviously will show the transfer through, especially the edges, and then wetting the paper will also show more air bubbles to be squeezed out, so use the squeegee again to remove those as much as possible. And the next task is to remove the backing paper. Be very careful, watch the transfer, make sure the paper comes off completely. Anything stuck wet again, mostly peel it off, and you see sticks, touch of water. That's it. Carry on. Peel it right down. And there we are. So the next thing to do is to remove the excess water, and then using a needle tool pierce all the little bubbles and gradually. The final result of applying this transfer will be the task of removing as many air bubbles as possible with the needle tool. This is slightly time consuming, but the more time spent, the better the job in the end. Here we see the job finished, all except for the final coat of varnish to seal the transfer to the side of the coach.